Hello, friends. Welcome to this live stream. And the name of the program is This Day, That Year. And today is February 27th. So let us find out what is so important that has happened today in our history. So, the first item that we have on the list is related to women's magazine. Women like to read their women magazine a lot. I mean, I'm not saying that women don't read any other publications, but I think the women magazines are sold a lot because the consumer of the women market is only women. The women magazine market is only women, and while other publications are consumed by men as well as women, but there are very few men who like to read the publications which are mentioned in the women magazine. But did you know that all this started in the year 1693 when the first women magazine known as Ladies Mercury was published in England, London. So, some smart guy realized that, if we publish a women magazine very, very specific concerning the women issues related to specifically only to women issues, then it will be a very good business proposition. And hence, in the year 1693, the first women magazine was published in the world. Imagine this, on February 27, 1693. All right, let's move to the next historic incident. Now, this is related to the great Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was sort of a visionary, and we know that he was a very, very popular national hero for United States, and he was also assassinated for removing the slavery completely from their country. So there was a civil war. So he led the civil war and he became victorious. After that, he was assassinated. So I think a very important person, and he basically was from a very humble background, but he studied hard and he campaigned hard in order to become the president. So in the year 1860, on February 27th, he gave his remarkable speech in the New York City at the Cooper Union. And this speech was basically amazing speech which moved the masses. And because of this speech, this one speech at Cooper's Union in the and New York State, basically created the entire background of Abraham Lincoln becoming the president of United States of America. So, the words are so strong, they can cut through your heart just like any weapon, but then they don't even kill you. They in fact change you. And this is exactly what this speech did with the common American citizens, and propelling Abraham Lincoln, coming from humble background, not an aristocrat, becoming the president of United States. So important day, especially February 27th, important day for us. Let's move to the next item. The next item is about the artificial sweetener. When we get some sort of medical condition like diabetes or anything which is related to eating too many sweets, too many cakes, pastries, and if you have a sweet tooth, then this could be a problem for a person, especially if they are showing signs of chronic ailments like diabetes. So one of the issue that you can solve this is that have sweetness in your food, but don't take sugar. And this was invented, this artificial sweetener, which is not sugar, was invented by a Russian chemist. His name was Konstantin Fallberg, and he made the discovery in 1879, announced to the world on February 27th, which is today. So imagine such a great invention for diabetic people. They can avoid sugar, still enjoy their favorite dessert, because now there is an artificial sweetener which can actually sweeten their dessert. So they did not there is no need for people to sacrifice their sweet tooth, all because of the chemist Konstantin Fallberg from Russia. in the year 1879. All right, let's move to the next one. Well, in the year 1933, after the Nazis became the official, Nazi basically stands for the National Socialist Party of Germany, and they were actually, in the parliament, and they got elected to the parliament, and they were not dictator. Actually, they were chosen by the people to come to the parliament and basically create the law and order, and also take the Germany ahead. So this parliament in the year 1933, which is known as Reichstag building, was completely gutted, completely burned in a fire, which supposedly or allegedly people say that it was set up by Nazis themselves. But Nazis actually caught hold of a communist, because Nazis were against communism. The whole idea of even though communism was started by Karl Marx, who was a German, but Nazi didn't like communism. So they caught hold of a communist leader who was actually a Dutch communist leader, Marinus van der Lubbe. And because he tried to carry out act of sabotage against the country, supposedly or allegedly, this person was executed on the charge of setting the parliament building, or the Reichstag of the Nazi regime, completely gutted to this fire. Now, this incident happened, this incident of the destruction of the Nazi parliament happened on February 27, 1933. So important day. We must remember that certain things can be done for the right or for the wrong. We don't know, but this is an important incident that happened today. Moving on to the next one. Well, we know that light is a part of electromagnetic radiation. I mean, many of us would know this, that light is a part of the light that we see today is part of electromagnetic radiation. But electromagnetic radiation is not the only thing. Light is not the only thing which is part of the electromagnetic radiation. The entire electromagnetic radiation starts from gamma ray, which is the most energetic on one side, and it ends in radio wave, which are the weakest. And therefore, every object in the universe emit these weak rays. It's just that the human eye is not able to see radio waves, just like we see visible light, because we have the eyes which are genetically engineered to see only visible light or certain spectrum of this electromagnetic radiation. So even radio waves are part of this same spectrum. And there was not too much knowledge about the electromagnetic nature of the light, even though there were a lot of speculation. Scientists were saying that, hey, this is one and the same thing. But then finally this was discovered by J.S. Hay in the year 1942, where he identified that even sun is emitting radio waves as part of the emission which is coming from sun. So sun, as we know that it emits the visible light, it also emits gamma ray, very highly energetic photons, which we cannot see. But if we see them, we probably get blinded because they are so energetic. But sun also produces radio waves, and you can tune your radio tuner to listen to the sound which is coming from sun. So this is something which is amazing, and which this discovery was announced to the world today on February 27th in the year 1942. All right, let's move to the next one. Well, we know that cloning is a very serious science. In the fiction movies, we have seen that sometimes the bad guys keep cloning themselves, even the good guys, and they tend to live forever because if the old body dies, no problem, they can transfer all their memories and all their brain memories and everything, data from the brain from the previous body to the new one, and the new body is actually clone of the previous one. So voila, so the old body dies but you live, and you then take on from that point onwards. So cloning is a very serious science, it can be done. Although since the testing and any human genetic variation is not allowed by the United Nations Convention, so there is no cloning of humans allowed. Otherwise you can make copies of yourself and so on and so forth. Although there is no ban on cloning of animals. In fact, the cloning of animals are done regularly, but we never knew that a famous celebrity, Barbara Streisand, she actually cloned her dog twice, not once, but twice. But you know that if the dog is in our family, we fall in love with dog, treat the dog, treat dogs so well that they are more than the family members. So if unfortunately dogs don't live just like human lives, they die, and giving a lot of grief to the people who are basically parenting dogs. And so I can understand, Barbara Streisand cloning her dog twice. That means you don't want to lose that memory of loving your furry children. But this is something which is amazing, where she announced that she actually got her dog cloned twice. This is amazing. I think this has given an idea that probably we should find out what it costs to clone your pet, your dog, because if it has been done once, it could be done again also. All right, let's move to the next one. Now we know that there has been a lot of tension between India and Pakistan. Way back in 2019, there were skirmishes, and the Indian side decided to form the terrorist camps inside the Pakistan territory because there was a huge issue, there was huge escalation, and Indians decided to take the matter in their own hand. And after that, after this particular strike at Balakot, the Pakistani Air Force, which is quite powerful, they decided to invade India. And then there was retaliation, and in that retaliation, the squadron leader Abhinandan, he was flying an old, outdated, 1950s, 1960s MiG-21 Indian variant, which has been retrofitted. But even though it is an old aircraft as compared to F-16, because most of the Air Force of Pakistan Air Force comprise of F-16, which has been given to them by the United States during their heydays of relationship. So F-16 is a pretty advanced generation 4 fighter. It has a lot of different gadgets in it. But today, on February 27th in the year 2019, squadron leader Abhinandan shot down an F-16 from his outdated MiG-21 Bison, which is an Indian variant. But this is remarkable. You could, from a generation 1 or 2 old aircraft, MiG-21 aircraft, you can actually shoot down generation 4 fighter planes. So this was something which is amazing, and this was something remarkable. And this shows that the tech does not play a lot of role in a warfare or any escalation. It is basically the person who's sitting in the cockpit, and this has happened. And squadron leader Abhinandan became a war hero immediately on that day itself. And kind of things, his story is well known. But important thing is, historically, this is an incident which happened today. And this is an incident which happened on February 27, 2019. So friends, I've come to the end of my program, and I will meet you with interesting historic facts tomorrow again at 4:30. Until then, bye bye for today.